The sky over Earth was calm, the cities shining like jewels under the soft glow of the sun. People walked in the streets, children laughed, and life seemed perfect. For decades, humanity had avoided war. Leaders had made peace, and nations had worked together. Technology had advanced faster than anyone could imagine. Space travel was common, and humans had begun exploring other planets. It seemed that nothing could disturb this peace. Commander Alex Wren stood on the observation deck of the orbital space station, staring at the blackness beyond the windows. His eyes followed the distant stars, but something felt wrong. The instruments in front of him beeped softly, showing readings he had never seen before. Strange signals, irregular and powerful, were coming from a star system far beyond the solar system. At first, no one knew what they meant. "Sir," his assistant Liera said, pointing at the screen. "The signals are increasing in strength. They're moving closer." Alex frowned. He had seen many anomalies in space, asteroids, comets, rogue satellites, but this was different. The patterns in the signals were complex, almost intelligent. "Could it be another human probe?" he asked. Liera shook her head. "No, sir. This is not human. It's something else." Alex's stomach tightened. Something else. The thought sent a chill down his spine. Earth had avoided wars with itself, but what if a true enemy arrived from the stars? He had trained for threats from space, but he had never imagined facing a force that might be beyond comprehension. Back on Earth, the news had not yet caught on to the anomaly. People continued their lives as if nothing unusual was happening. In New York, children played in the parks while adults sipped coffee in quiet cafes. In Tokyo, the streets were full of neon lights and chatter. Peace had lulled everyone into comfort, a sense of security that felt unbreakable. Meanwhile, on the space station, Alex and his team worked tirelessly. They tracked the signals, analyzed their patterns, and tried to predict their purpose. Every calculation led to the same conclusion: something was approaching Earth, and it was not friendly. As night fell on the station, Alex went to the observation deck alone. He looked at Earth below, blue and fragile, spinning silently in the dark. He felt the weight of responsibility. If these beings were hostile, millions, maybe billions of lives were at stake. And humanity had never faced an enemy like this before. The signal grew stronger with each passing hour. Alex called a meeting with the Space Council, which included scientists, military leaders, and representatives from Earth's governments. The room was tense, full of uncertainty. Dr. Elena Kirov, the chief scientist, spoke first. "The signals are coming from a fleet of unknown origin. Their technology is beyond anything we have seen. They are approaching fast. If they reach Earth without contact, we may be too late to stop them." A murmur ran through the room. Leaders argued and debated. Some wanted to send messages of peace. Others demanded preparation for war. The disagreement showed how fragile humanity's unity really was. Alex knew that time was running out. Suddenly, alarms blared across the station. Liera shouted, "Sir, scouts! Small ships entering Mars orbit." Alex grabbed his communicator. "All teams, prepare for engagement. We don't know their strength. Move carefully." The scouts moved in patterns unlike any human formation. They glided silently, almost as if they were alive. Their surfaces shimmered with strange energy, and no weapons could be detected, at least not yet. Alex watched, heart pounding, as the first scouts approached the Martian colonies. On the planet below, humans noticed strange lights in the sky. Drones sent images back to the station. People on Mars stared in awe and fear at the small but intimidating shapes. Back on the observation deck, Alex spoke quietly to himself. "We have never faced a true enemy. And now, one is coming." Hours passed. The scouts circled Mars, testing defenses, gathering data. Alex's team could not predict their next move. Every scan revealed new technology, new forms of energy, and a precision that terrified even the most experienced soldiers. That night, Earth slept unaware of the threat orbiting their planet. The calm sky above hid the danger approaching faster than anyone imagined. Alex remained on the deck, eyes fixed on the stars, feeling the first stirrings of fear. Fear for his crew, for the people of Earth, for the world that had never known real war. A small beep interrupted his thoughts. The main screen flickered, showing an unreadable message transmitted from the alien scouts. Strange symbols, shifting and pulsing with light, appeared across the screen. Alex tried to decode it. Nothing made sense. It was as if the beings were communicating in a language humans had never known. He felt a shiver run through him. These were not simple explorers. They were intelligent, powerful, and dangerous. Earth had been safe for so long, but that safety was about to end. Alex turned to Liera, his voice firm, hiding his fear. Prepare the teams. Notify Earth. We don't have much time. This is only the beginning. Outside, the stars continued to shine. But among them, an unseen force moved closer, bringing with it a challenge humanity had never faced. And for the first time in decades, the peace that everyone had taken for granted felt fragile, like glass on the edge of breaking. The alien scouts moved closer to Mars. Their shapes shimmered in the thin atmosphere, reflecting the light of the distant sun. Scientists and soldiers aboard the station watched in silence. Every movement of the ships was precise, almost too perfect, like they were studying humanity with careful calculation. Commander Alex Wren felt a knot tighten in his chest. They're not just scouts, he said quietly. They're testing us. Liera's hands shook as she typed commands into the control panel. Sir, they're energy signatures. They're unlike anything we've seen. Weapons. Shields. I can't tell. Alex ran his hand over his face. For decades, humans had avoided war. Technology had advanced, people had learned to live together. And now, it seemed, none of that mattered. The universe had sent a force that could end everything. Meanwhile, on Earth, the news began to leak. People saw strange flashes in the night sky. Satellites detected unusual movements near Mars. Panic started quietly, spreading from online forums to social media, and then to mainstream news channels. Governments tried to reassure citizens, but the fear was already growing. Back on the station, Alex and his team debated their next move. Dr. Elena Kirov, the chief scientist, frowned at the readouts. We can't communicate with them, she said. Our messages return as distorted signals. It's like they don't even understand us, or they refuse to. Alex clenched his fists. Then we prepare for the worst. Ready the reconnaissance ships. We need to understand what we're dealing with before they reach Earth. Liera's voice was tense. Sir, reports from Mars colonies, they're detecting scanning beams. The scouts are analyzing everything. Buildings, vehicles, even people. The thought sent a shiver down Alex's spine. They were not here to talk. They were here to study, and perhaps decide who lived and who didn't. The reconnaissance ships launched into Mars orbit, small but fast. Alex personally led one team. As they approached the scouts, the alien ships rotated, reflecting the red dust of the planet below. Their surfaces pulsed with energy. No one could see their weapon systems, but the sheer presence of the ships radiated power. Keep your distance, Alex warned. We don't know what they can do. A sudden pulse of light shot from one of the alien ships. The crew's shields flared, barely holding. Instruments went haywire. Alex shouted, "Pull back! Pull back!" The team returned to the station, shaken but alive. They are testing us, Alex said grimly. Every move we make, they watch, they learn. Hours passed. On Earth, people tried to continue their lives, but fear was growing. Children asked their parents why the sky looked different. Flights were delayed. Soldiers and scientists worked around the clock to understand the alien signals. Alex stayed on the observation deck, looking at Mars and the scouts circling it. This is not like anything we've faced before, he said. We've never had a true enemy. And now, one is coming. Suddenly, A new alert rang through the station. Liera's voice was tense. "Sir, multiple ships detected leaving the main fleet. They're moving toward Earth. Faster than we expected." The room froze. Earth. Millions of lives. All fragile, all unaware of the danger above them. Alex took a deep breath. "Alert the global councils. Prepare Earth defenses. Everyone must work together. This is no longer about peace. This is about survival." Back on Earth, the first warnings reached cities. Satellites showed tiny flashes in the atmosphere, scouts entering orbit, testing the planet. People watched the skies, terrified. Governments activated emergency protocols. Cities lit up with alarms. For the first time in decades, humanity felt the fear of true war. Not a war between nations, but a war that could wipe them all out. Alex's voice came over the communication lines, calm but firm. "This is only the beginning. We must prepare. We do not know what they want, but we will not go down without fighting." As night fell across Earth, millions of people slept under the shadow of the unknown. Above them, the alien fleet moved silently, powerful and patient. Commander Alex Wren knew that the coming days would change everything. Peace was gone. A real enemy had appeared, and humanity would have to face it, or perish. And in the dark corners of space, the scouts continued their work, learning, calculating, waiting for the right moment to strike. Earth was on edge. The alien scouts had entered orbit, circling the planet like silent predators. Governments sent warnings, but most people still could not believe it. They had lived their entire lives in peace. No one knew how to respond to an enemy that came from the stars, an enemy far stronger and more advanced than anything humans had faced. Commander Alex Wren stood in the command center of the orbital station, staring at the live feed from Earth. Cities sparkled at night, oblivious to the danger above. Mars had already been scouted, and the main fleet was moving closer. "Sir," Liera said, pointing at the screens, "the scouts are transmitting again. Signals. But we still cannot understand them. It's as if they are studying us, preparing for something." Alex shook his head. "They are not here for peace. They are here for conquest, or worse." Below them, on Earth, panic quietly grew. Airports were closed, schools suspended, and streets filled with soldiers and emergency vehicles. Citizens tried to carry on with their lives, but the fear was in every conversation, every glance at the night sky. Dr. Elena Kirov worked frantically in the lab. "Commander," she said, "their ships have energy readings far beyond any weapon we know. Even our most advanced missiles would be useless. They could destroy entire cities without warning." Alex's jaw tightened. "Then we find another way. We cannot wait for them to strike first. We need to understand them, learn their weaknesses, before it's too late." The station's sensors detected a new movement. A section of the alien fleet had broken from formation, moving directly toward Earth. The fleet was massive, dark shapes against the stars, moving faster than any human ship could. "Prepare the defense satellites," Alex ordered. "We can't let them hit the cities without a fight." Hours later, the first skirmishes began. The alien scouts tested Earth's defenses, firing beams of energy that disabled satellites and communication networks. Cities in the southern hemisphere briefly lost power. Panic spread like wildfire. On the station, Alex and his team analyzed the attacks. The alien technology was far superior. Every missile and laser Earth fired was dodged or absorbed. The humans were no match. "They are too strong," Liera whispered, fear in her voice. "We can't stop them." Alex turned to her, his eyes hard. "We won't know until we try. Humanity has survived worse before. We have faced threats, internal conflicts, disasters, but we've never faced a real enemy like this. We can't give up now." The aliens' movements grew bolder. Reports came from major cities, strange lights in the sky, sudden blackouts, and strange disturbances in communication signals. People began to understand that the warnings were real. The enemy was here, and it was unlike anything they had imagined. Alex gathered the team for a critical meeting. "We need a strategy," he said. "We can't fight them directly. Our weapons won't stop them. But we can study them, learn their patterns, and find a weakness. If we unite, Earth may have a chance." Liera's eyes widened. "Sir, the fleet is closer now. They are scanning major cities. They could attack at any moment." Alex nodded grimly. "Then we act quickly. No hesitation. We cannot wait for them to choose the moment. We must be ready for anything." The first wave of alien ships hovered over the outskirts of major cities. Their energy pulses lit up the skies. Civilians looked up in terror as the lights danced, strange and powerful. Governments scrambled fighter jets, but the humans were unprepared for the speed and precision of the alien scouts. Alex's voice came over the global communication networks, calm but firm. "Attention, all nations. This is Commander Alex Wren. The enemy has arrived. Do not panic. We must work together. Every soldier, every scientist, every citizen has a role to play. Humanity's survival depends on unity." Across Earth, people paused, listening to the calm voice in the chaos. For a moment, fear was mixed with determination. They realized that their safety had ended, but they were not entirely defenseless. Meanwhile, Alex and his team continued to study the alien ships, analyzing their energy patterns, their speed, and their tactics. The more they observed, the more they realized how advanced the enemy was. But they also noticed something: small inconsistencies, tiny openings, moments where the scouts hesitated. Alex clenched his fists. "It's not much, but it's something. We learn from this. We adapt. We survive." As night fell over Earth, the alien fleet remained in orbit, scanning, testing, and waiting. Cities were tense, people watched the skies, and soldiers prepared for the unknown. Commander Alex Wren looked out at Earth, feeling the weight of responsibility. For the first time in centuries, humanity faced a true external enemy. Not a war of politics or greed, but a war of survival against a force beyond imagination. And the question hung in the air like the cold stars above: would humanity survive the wrong enemy? The alien fleet hovered above Earth, dark and silent, as if the planet itself was their prey. Commander Alex Wren stood on the observation deck, staring at the screens that showed thousands of ships, each one larger and more powerful than anything humans had ever built. The signals they sent pulsed with strange energy, scanning cities, infrastructure, even military bases. Earth's defenses had never faced anything like this. "Sir," Liera said, her voice trembling, "they're moving faster than expected. Their main fleet is breaking into smaller units, heading toward major population centers." Alex clenched his jaw. "They're testing our response again. They want to see how we react. Every choice we make is being watched." Back on Earth, people were finally realizing the danger. Panic spread quickly, faster than any news broadcast could contain. Crowds ran through the streets, sirens screamed, and governments scrambled to coordinate responses. Soldiers tried to organize defenses, but confusion ruled. Humanity's decades of peace had left them unprepared. Dr. Elena Kirov worked tirelessly in the lab, her face pale and tense. "Commander," she said, "I've analyzed the alien ship's energy signatures. Their weapons could destroy entire cities in seconds. Any direct confrontation would be catastrophic." Alex shook his head. "Then we fight smart, not direct. We study their movements, we find patterns. There has to be a weakness. Every system, even theirs, has one." Liera tapped the console nervously. "Sir, reports are coming in from several cities. There are disturbances, strange energy surges. Buildings flicker, communication lines fail. People are terrified." Alex took a deep breath. "We can't let fear control us. Humanity has faced disasters before, and we survived. This is just bigger. But we adapt, we resist. That's what we do." Suddenly, an alert flashed across the main screen. A massive ship, unlike the scouts they had seen before, appeared over New York. It was enormous, dark, and pulsing with energy. It radiated power, and every sensor aboard the station struggled to measure it. Liara gasped. "Sir, that ship, it's huge. Its energy output is off the charts. It's a command ship, I think." Alex's heart sank. He had feared this day, but seeing it in reality was worse than he imagined. "Prepare all monitoring systems," he said. "We need to know everything about that ship. If we're going to survive, we have to understand it." On Earth, news channels broadcast live images of the alien command ship. People watched in horror as a shadow larger than any building appeared over New York. Emergency broadcasts urged citizens to evacuate, but there was nowhere safe from a weapon of this scale. Alex knew that humanity had never faced a truly united enemy. Wars had been fought between nations, but this was different. The enemy was organized, powerful, and patient. They had no politics, no hesitation, no mercy. Liara looked at him, fear and determination in her eyes. "Commander, what do we do? How do we fight something like that?" Alex's jaw tightened. "We don't fight blindly. We learn. We unite. Every nation, every soldier, every scientist, we need to work together. If we survive, it will only be because we are smart, not because we are strong." Meanwhile, the alien command ship hovered silently over the city. Its sensors scanned every corner, every movement. It was as if it was choosing, deciding who or what mattered. Humanity's defenses were already strained. Fighter jets scrambled to intercept, but the ship's energy pulses disabled most of their systems before they even reached the fleet. Across the world, alarms blared, and people ran for cover. The reality of the enemy's power was undeniable. Earth's peace, its safety, its sense of invincibility, all of it was gone. Alex and his team worked tirelessly, analyzing data, sending messages, and coordinating defenses. Every second counted. Every small discovery mattered. He could see the fear in his crew, but also determination. Humanity would not give up without a fight. As night fell over the planet, the alien fleet remained in orbit, massive and silent. The command ship pulsed with energy above New York, and the scouts continued their tests across the globe. Commander Alex Wren looked at the screens, feeling the weight of the coming days. The enemy was here, more powerful than anyone had imagined, and the wrong enemy had come for Earth. One thought burned in his mind: humanity had survived disasters before, but this was different. If they failed, everything would be lost. And yet, if they could find the courage, if they could unite, there was still a chance to survive. The countdown had begun. Earth's fight for survival had started. The first strike came without warning. Cities across the globe flickered under the alien scouts' energy pulses. Satellites fell from orbit, communication lines went dark, and power grids collapsed. People screamed in the streets, running for cover as explosions shook buildings and roads cracked beneath the alien attacks. Humanity had never faced destruction on this scale. Commander Alex Wren stood on the observation deck of the orbital station, watching as the fleet unleashed its power. The alien scouts moved with precision, striking where Earth was most vulnerable. Entire cities were blacked out, their defenses destroyed before humans even had time to respond. "Sir," Liara said, her voice trembling, "they are too strong. Our weapons, they barely scratch them. They are unstoppable." Alex clenched his fists. "No," he said firmly. "Nothing is unstoppable. We adapt. We fight smart. We survive. That is what humans do." On Earth, fighter jets launched into the skies. They were fast, agile, and brave, but the alien energy pulses disabled their systems before they could reach the enemy. Missiles exploded harmlessly against invisible shields. The humans' best technology, the pride of generations, was powerless. In New York, the massive alien command ship hovered silently, a shadow over the city. Its energy pulsated, lighting up the streets below like daylight. People froze in fear as its beams tested the defenses, knocking out bridges, communication towers, and military installations. Alex and his team on the station analyzed the attack, searching for patterns, weaknesses, anything that could give Earth a chance. Every second brought new data. Every failure was a lesson. Dr. Elena Kirov shouted over the alarms. "Commander! Look at the energy signatures. There is a slight fluctuation in the command ship's shield, just a momentary gap. If we target it precisely." Alex's eyes widened. "Yes. That's the chance we've been waiting for. Prepare the strike teams. We move now, carefully. Precision over power." Liera shook her head. "Sir, it's risky. We could lose everything." Alex's voice was steady. "I know. But if we wait, we lose anyway. Humanity can't afford fear. Only action can save us." Meanwhile, across the world, chaos raged. Streets were filled with civilians trying to escape, emergency services struggled to operate, and soldiers fought bravely but were overwhelmed by the aliens' superior tactics. Humanity's peace, the peace of decades, was shattered. In orbit, Alex led a small squadron of reconnaissance and assault ships. Their mission, to strike the gap in the alien command ship's defenses. Every ship moved with silent determination. Every pilot knew the risk. Every second counted. As they approached the massive ship, energy pulses lashed out, testing them. One ship went down instantly, swallowed by a beam of alien power. Alex's ship dodged, weaving through flashes of light, and he clenched his teeth. The stakes had never been higher. Finally, the gap appeared, tiny, momentary, almost imperceptible. Alex's team fired in perfect coordination. The strike hit its mark, and for a brief instant, the alien command ship faltered. A shock wave of energy erupted across the fleet. The scouts retreated slightly, confused by the unexpected damage. Cheers erupted on the station, but Alex's eyes remained on the command ship. "It's not over," he said. "We've bought time, nothing more. They will come back stronger. We have to be ready." On Earth, people watched the first successes on news feeds, hope sparking in hearts that had been filled with fear. Humanity had survived the first strike, but at a cost. Cities were damaged, lives lost, and the realization was clear. The wrong enemy had come, and they would not leave easily. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. The first battle was over, but the war had only begun. He looked at Liera and the team. "We fight again," he said. "We learn, we adapt, and we survive. Humanity always has." Above them, the alien fleet regrouped, massive and relentless, their purpose clear. Earth had shown resistance, but the fight was far from over. The wrong enemy had arrived, and humanity had barely survived its first strike. The first strike had shaken Earth, but it had not broken it. Across the globe, leaders finally set aside their differences. For decades, nations had argued and competed, but now there was no choice. Humanity had a common enemy, and survival depended on unity. Commander Alex Wren stood in the Joint Command Center, surrounded by representatives from every major country, engineers, scientists, and military officers. The air was tense, filled with urgency. Everyone knew the aliens would strike again, and harder. "We have one advantage," Alex said, his voice firm. "We have learned from their first attack. Every ship, every energy pulse, every movement can teach us how to fight smarter. We must use our knowledge, not just our weapons." Dr. Elena Kirov nodded. "We're working on a new energy shield system, designed to withstand the pulses we saw yesterday. It's risky, but it might give us enough protection to launch coordinated strikes." Liera added, "And our drones are analyzing the command ship. There are small weaknesses, brief windows where their shields drop. If we time our attacks precisely, we could disable their weapons." Alex's jaw tightened. "Then that is what we do. Prepare all units. Earth must fight as one. No nation alone can survive. Only together can we have a chance." Across the planet, scientists worked day and night, building new defenses and adapting old technology. Soldiers trained, learning new tactics to avoid the alien energy pulses. Civilians helped where they could, moving supplies, tending to the injured, and keeping morale alive. Humanity was learning to move as one organism, united by survival. Alex coordinated the first counterattack from the orbital station. Small strike teams launched toward the alien fleet, using new maneuvers and tactics designed to exploit the gaps discovered in the scouts' patterns. It was dangerous, and losses were expected, but every pilot knew the stakes. The alien fleet responded immediately. Energy beams cut through space, testing defenses, seeking weaknesses. The humans dodged, adapted, and countered. The battle was fierce, but for the first time, Earth had small victories. One squadron managed to disable several scouts using precision strikes. Another successfully shielded a city from energy pulses. Cheers erupted in the command center each time news came through. Hope returned, but Alex remained cautious. "This is only the beginning," he reminded the team. "The enemy is strong. They will adapt, and they will strike back harder. We cannot afford arrogance or mistakes. Every move must be calculated." Hours passed. The battle stretched across Earth's orbit. Cities below were tense, watching the skies for signs of new attacks. Civilians could not fully understand the complexity of the battle, but they could feel it in the alarms, the flashes, and the constant communication updates. Liera turned to Alex, exhaustion on her face. "Sir, we're doing well. For the first time, we're making them retreat in some areas." Alex's eyes were sharp. "Good. But they are learning too. This is a war of adaptation. Every small victory counts, but the real test is coming. They will bring their full strength. We must be ready." Meanwhile, the alien command ship observed from above, silent but calculating. Its scouts continued testing defenses in other regions. The humans had made progress, but the enemy was far from defeated. Night fell over Earth. Cities lit up with emergency lights, and the humans regrouped for the next wave. Commander Alex Wren looked at the screens, feeling the weight of responsibility, but also a spark of hope. Humanity could fight together, and perhaps, just perhaps, survive. The wrong enemy had appeared, but for the first time, Earth was no longer defenseless. Humanity had united, adapted, and learned to resist. The coming days would decide the future, but now, the fight was no longer one-sided. The day of the final battle arrived. Earth cities were on high alert, satellites and defense systems ready. Commander Alex Wren stood on the observation deck of the orbital station, staring at the alien fleet approaching. Thousands of ships moved with perfect precision. The alien command ship loomed larger than ever, a dark shadow against the stars. Alex's voice was calm but firm as he addressed the global forces. "This is it. Every nation, every soldier, every scientist, everyone has a role. Today, we fight not for power, not for territory, but for survival. Stay focused. Adapt. Survive. Humanity depends on us." Below, civilians prayed, fled, and waited. Soldiers loaded weapons, pilots checked ships, and engineers activated the newly developed shields. Humanity had never been more united, and never more determined. The aliens struck first. Energy beams cut through space, disabling satellites and testing the new shields. Some cities felt the pulses directly, and alarms screamed across continents. But this time, humans were ready. Shields held, strike teams moved in, and drones attacked the scouts with precision. Alex led a small fleet toward the command ship, timing their attack with the brief moments of weakness they had discovered. Energy pulses hit their ships, but careful maneuvers allowed them to survive. The command ship's defenses flickered, and Alex knew this was the moment. "Now!" he shouted. Every ship fired in unison, targeting the gaps in the alien shields. The beams of energy struck true, exploding across the command ship's hull. A shockwave rippled through the alien fleet. Scouts retreated, and the command ship faltered. But the victory was not without cost. Several human ships were destroyed. Pilots sacrificed themselves to protect civilians. Explosions lit the void of space. Alex felt the weight of every loss, but he forced himself to stay focused. The alien fleet regrouped, stronger and more coordinated. The war was not over. Alex realized that survival would not come from a single attack, it would come from endurance, strategy, and unity. Earth's combined forces launched a second wave. Scientists remotely hacked alien systems, soldiers guided precision strikes, and pilots executed daring maneuvers. The command ship began to lose stability, its energy pulsating wildly. Finally, a massive explosion shook the fleet. The alien command ship was disabled. One by one, the scouts retreated, fleeing into the dark reaches of space. Humanity had won, but the victory was hard-earned. Cities were damaged, lives lost, and scars remained. Alex watched from the station as the remnants of the alien fleet vanished. He felt exhaustion, grief, and relief all at once. Humanity had survived the impossible. For the first time, Earth had faced a true enemy and had come out alive. On Earth, people cheered. Soldiers hugged each other. Families reunited. And yet, a quiet tension remained. Alex knew that the universe was vast, and this might not be the last enemy. But for now, humanity had proven it could fight, adapt, and survive. He turned to Liera and the team. We did it. Humanity did it. But we must remember what we learned. We cannot take peace for granted. We cannot be complacent. The stars above were calm again, but Alex's eyes searched the darkness. Somewhere out there, other threats might be watching, waiting. Humanity had survived the wrong enemy, but the universe held many mysteries. And Earth would be ready. The wrong enemy had come, but Earth had not fallen. Humanity had united, adapted, and survived. And for now, that was enough.